Welcome everybody to today's pregame show lineup right here. Before we go ahead and we start off with the Atlantic Bowl 26, which will be go ahead and be happening down below in the description below. But today we got a big matchup here. As live for you for the ACC Atlantic Bowl 26 pregame show. Tonight we're gonna be seeing two teams go at it. As we're gonna have the powerhouse Notre Dame going to go ahead and surprisingly take on the Cinderella team, Norris Clutch and his squad, the Boston College Eagles. So before we get started off, I am I'm going to be your pregame show analyst, Brown DC, the pool. You already know. And tonight's matchup, you guys are going to watch. It's going to be a very good one. Trust me when I say it. Anyways, a big thing to go ahead and talk about coming into tonight's game is this Boston College team, very experienced, as they have loaded tons of talent. First of all, we can't start off without mentioning the rookie Heisman himself, Mr. Norris Clutch. At quarterback this season, he went 87 for 141, 62 completion percentage with 2,137 yards, 26 touchdowns against 12 interceptions. Good enough to have the passing yards be third in the league. His passing touchdowns also be third in the league. So very high numbers here. This is a team that basically has a lot to look forward to. And I mean it when I say it. You also gotta go ahead and also look at this team's blocking, which will also be coming into the way. And you have Joseph Clutch, who on 38 drives has only allowed 12 sacks, which is which is very respectable, and was enough to have him as an eligible candidate for Center of the Year. And rushing wise, Norris Clutch has also been a very dominant man himself. 48 carries, 365 yards, and 4 touchdowns. But that does not mean he won't be running all the time. He has some very good receivers. Having been like 3x Trems, Justin's Clutch to go ahead and help lead the fold. Along with a few other players, there's no way this team can flaw. And of course, no flashes in Norris Clutch. Also a few of the best DBs in the league. But I'll despite the fact Norris has only allowed 15 passes this season, he went ahead, which was tied for second in the league, which was a bit horrible. He had 3 interceptions, and to add that up, we even saw no flashes also have 3 interceptions as well. Defensive end wise, Boston College will have Colin from 44, who went ahead and enters tonight's game with a total sack count of 6, having 4 sacks, 4 general sacks, 1 safety, and 1 tackle for loss. And special team stats, well, DX Champs is just basically one of the best to ever do it. But tonight's matchup will be against a powerhouse squad in Notre Dame. They're head coached by a man who's been to this Atlantic Bowl situation so many times before. There's literally now this time he has no excuse to go ahead and get this up, and that of course will be talking about Mr. Kibo, aka Volcano God, as he basically, although he did QB a few games this season, going 18 for 32 with 500 yards, 7 touchdowns against 3 picks. That's not also to say that this team has other talent as well, as they have as Twice Takashi, who people originally thought was the Heisman Trophy front runner, with had 1,725 yards, 22 touchdowns against 9 picks. Both of them are not slouches to running, as they both combined for over 200 yards rushing, gained two touchdowns. Blocking wise, Notre Dame has Carly Chera on 42 drives has allowed 6 less sacks, which is appearance a very proud accomplishment. So, not something to stay on its own. But it's also not going that they also have one of the best receivers in the league with Dares coming in tonight for Notre Dame with 30 catches, 860 yards, and 15 touchdowns. The 15 touchdowns were tied for first in the league. His yardage second in the league, only behind the Heisman Trophy winner and wide receiver of the year, Bojangles Bandit. Notre Dame has 15 Zev to help lead the way themselves, having changed 616. This is overall a very stacked game coming into tonight. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be very, very, very interesting. It's winner takes all at this point. But not only with the addition of certain stuff, if Kiggy's Valkyrie is active tonight, the rusher of the year will go ahead and might suit up a bit for Notre Dame as old Kiggy had 69 carries for 511 yards with 3 touchdowns. And that also means that there's pretty much they also have a few other parts to mention with the defensive end of the year in Kibo himself going ahead, and he pretty much had a somewhat decent season, collecting sacks. Managed to go ahead and get second in the league with 8, which was enough to go ahead and pass Arby's Annihilator. And with Tai Sakashi as the kicker of the year, also coming into tonight, this is going to be a match for the ages, and it's going to get people very, 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 very pumped up. Now, both sides have talent, both sides coming in, but this is going to be a game that's going to go down to experience. But who has the experience? For me, I would say Keeble would definitely have experience tonight. He's been to so many of the situation, despite having been able to get a chance to win it all. He still has put up good efforts while it lasted. So either way, wherever this is going to come down to, only one will survive. Will the powerhouse team led by the veteran Kibo go ahead and get the win, or will we see hashtag shock the world with the rookie Heisman Trophy winner Norris Clutch? Put your guys' predictions in the comment section below. But without further ado, we'll be going go ahead and click the link down below in the description to go ahead and see the Atlantic Bowl live on Twitch.